Well, hey, B, it's Jamie. That's me here. Welcome back to my channel, honey, and welcome back to yet another review on Real Housewives of Atlanta, honey. Reunion Part 1 of Season 14. Understand that my reviews are coming to you guys via voiceover this week. It's most likely going to be like that for the rest of the week because your girl got a lot going on. You feel what I'm saying? Like, your girl is moving this week. Your girl got a wedding to go to at the end of the week. Girl, listen, just understand it. It's a lot of moving parts over here on my end, which is why, you guys are getting this voiceover style because I got so much to do and I got to finish packing. But anyway, girl, let's go ahead and get into it. So the ladies all look nice, okay? They all look nice for the most part, all right? I do think that the dresses that I didn't really like, they looked better sitting down, like Sanya's dress, Marlo's dress, and I think that was it. I feel like maybe Sheree's dress. I don't know. But anyway, girl, first of all, I hated the seating. Hated the seating. I understand they were trying to do ODs, OGs versus new girls or whatever you want to call it. I still didn't like it, okay? Then I guess they ordered it by way of drama or whatever the case was. It was like, girl, you could have just did squad versus squad. Like, it didn't have to be oldies versus the newbies or anything like that. Just y'all could have swapped Drew and Shereé out. Y'all could have put Shereé where Marlo was sitting, put Marlo where Drew was sitting, move Kenya to the corner, and then put Drew in the middle, and then had Kandi on the end, or put Kandi in the middle and then put Drew on the end. Whatever the case is, girl, y'all could have did that, okay? And y'all didn't, all right? And speaking of Kandi, shout out to Miss Kandi. We had an exclusive interview with Miss Kandi along with a lot of other YouTubers. It's going to be over there on Bondi Blues channel, so be sure that you guys check it out if you have yet to check it out. Shout out to Kandi for giving our channel some time. I know Miss Kandi is a super busy lady, so just to even take 5 minutes out of her day, okay, away from her family, away from her many jobs, to sit up there and do, an interview with us, shout out to Kandi for that, because she didn't even have to do it. So we were grateful for whatever time she was willing to give to us, and I'm sure the other content creators were happy about that as well. You know what I'm saying? So y'all check out everybody's motherfucking interviews, girl, because the interviews were good. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. All right, now, like I said, the ladies look good. Looks like the theme of the reunion was Jamaica. What I did notice was that, girl, the stage was surrounded by water. Now, they did the fuck out that stage, girl. I'm gonna give it to them. They did what needed to be done. I will give them that, girl. They had a bridge for the ladies to walk over. From my understanding, they removed the bridge at a later time, so you couldn't just run off stage, storm off stage, or do anything like that. And I'm like, oh wow, well, girl, what if somebody got a tinkle-inkle? How does that work? You gotta wait all the way until this break time? Oh wow, this is a lot. But anyway, girl, let's go ahead and keep going. So before the reunion, Drew was asked who she's not looking forward to seeing, honey, and she sat up there and said that she's not looking forward to seeing she not done yet. Girl, I screamed. Okay, it's just so funny the way we come up with the different she buys. Speaking of Miss She Buy, all right, Miss She Buy's website is back up and it has been revamped. Okay, looks way better than the previous site, but what we can say is the prices don't. Okay, the prices are still the same, still expensive. All right, so Miss Girl, you really could have came down on that price. All right, okay, while you was over there revamping things, you should have revamped them prices. Understand? Okay, because you probably would sell more product and therefore make more money. All right, but because you want to be so high fashion after 14 motherfucking years, girl, it's not going to give what you expect it to give. But anyway, girl, we're going to go ahead and scoot over. All right. So when it comes to bone collecting, they didn't give any to Marlo. So they went on the screen. They showed us flashbacks throughout the season of how each lady carried the bone. But what was interesting, they didn't put Marlo up there. And I just kind of felt like, girl, why not? Because Marlo was out here carrying bones. On top of that, the way she sat up there and drugged Kandi to Shereé, that was enough bones right there. Why y'all ain't give Marlo some of them motherfucking bones, okay? Good. But anyway, honey, let's go ahead and keep going. Now, Drew was asked about bringing bones and trying to be the new bone collector. So Drew says that Shereé left a few bones on the table, so she decided that she was going to pick them up and give them to her chihuahua. Girl, hollering. I said, let's go, Drew. Let's go. So Shereé and Drew started going back and forth, and it was so funny because Andy was trying to ask a question, but then Shereé says, I just think you couldn't handle Fatune. And Drew said, what was that? She says, I just think you couldn't handle her. And then Drew said, oh, no, baby. Don't come over here with that bullshit, because guess what? I handled her and then sent her ass off to play. Understand that, all right? So anyway, Shereé was asked about Fatum doing her dirty work when it came to Drew and Ralph, okay? Like, did you bring Fatum on the show to do your dirty work? And then, of course, Shereé says no. She says Anthony gave her tea on Drew and Ralph, and Fatum was the one that decided to hold on to the information. I guess, girl, both of y'all held on to it. It was just that Fatum was the one that chose to release it. It is what it is. And I think given enough time, Shereé, you probably would have leaked it out too. But anyway, so Kenya told Sanya that Drew had no mind of her own. So that was a conversation. And Kenya says that she wasn't pot stirring when she said that. And Drew says outside of running, she don't really know what else Sanya is there for. Like, girl, what else are you bringing? I mean, she's a great runner, but what else? So then Sanya decides to drag Drew, talking about we've been on this earth about the same amount of time and you've only been able to accomplish mediocrity at best. And I was like, oh, wow, that was a read, but it was giving rehearsed. I'm not gonna like, girl, it was indeed giving rehearsed that you was ready to go ahead and pretty much say that because you knew she was gonna end up coming for you just being a runner and that's the only thing that you're worth. But I guess it was cute, whatever. Okay, so then they speak on She by Shereé website. I told y'all that it's back up. It has now been revamped, so shout out to Shereé for that. I would love to support Shereé, but girl, you're not gonna get me. Girl, you not gonna get me. You're not gonna get me so much that I'm not gonna even get a tumbler, ma'am. Understand what I'm saying? You not gonna get me, girl. All right. As much as I would like to, support, I'm not. Y'all let me know. Y'all let me know what you get though. Anyway, girl, so Kandi was asked about her shade towards Shereé, and Kandi admits because she has thrown shade at Shereé because Shereé has thrown shade at her in the show, and Kandi was not motherfucking lying. So Kandi brings up a Shereé co-sign and Marlo speaking on her negatively, talking about how Kandi done sucked so much dick and how Kandi was a hoe all over Atlanta or whatever it was. Whatever Marlo said about Kandi, Shereé literally sat up there and co-signed. Even down to the Todd, her taking care of Todd. Like, you just went along, and I think that that's effed up, but y'all always want Kandi to show up for y'all. Kandi even out here posted She by Shereé. Kandi even still plans to purchase things from her. And she also answers that question for us in our interview, so definitely go ahead and check that out, like I said, over there on Bondi's channel. But it's like, girl, why you be supporting these people that be doing you wrong? Not so much as you supporting them and then they do you wrong, but it's you knowing that they did you wrong and then you turn around and still try to go and support them. Like, I don't understand that. You're a better one than me, but I kind of feel like I need to get like you a little bit, because that's why your blessings keep coming the way that they do. That's why you be receiving so much of what you receive, because you don't hold on to that SHI. You let it go. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, y'all still cool in a sense. You know what I'm saying? I guess it just depends, because she's still not cool with Phaedra to this day, based on the things that, Phaedra said. And not saying that she has to be or that she should be or anything. But for some other people, depending on the situation, like, they kind of cool. I know she's not talking to Kim Zolciak either, because Kim Zolciak crossed her the way that she did as well. You wasn't trying to pay Kandi her money, and Kandi was out here overextending herself to you or whatever. But, when it comes to Marlo, Shereé, and some other people, because we've seen the on and offness between Kandi and Nene, where she still tried to support Nene, even though Nene came for her, and even Portia, who carried out a lie about her. She still try to be out here and still support this woman, and I'm like, that's probably how you still be getting your blessings, because you try not to hold on to nothing for the most part, girl. But anyway, Shereé brings up the fact that Kandi was over there speaking on her and she understands because she's good clickbait. I said, girl, sit down. Girl, if you don't sit down, Kandi had her doggone YouTube channel or whatever way before you got back on the show, Real Housewives. Like, stop playing, girl. And Kandi said, you think I need you for clickbait? I said, let's talk about that. Let's talk about it. Because y'all keep SHIing on Kandi. Because, yeah, you may have an extra year or whatever on Kandi and Real Housewives of Atlanta world. But y'all need to stop forgetting that this woman was honestly worldwide when she was with Escape years before. So why do you think that she needs you for clickbait when she still has a group from the 90s that she's still touring and making money with and making music with, and I think they're working on a show? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why do you think she needs you for clickbait when everything that she has going on right now? You feel what I'm saying? I'm like, you would be the clickbait out of everybody when she's connected to Tiny and Toya and Rashida and other people, and you would be the clickbait. Girl, let me go ahead and keep going, okay? So they ended up playing because Shereé was like, when did I talk about you? Because I don't remember talking about you. And then Kandi said, girl, so you don't remember? So they had to play back all the times that Shereé has come for Miss Kandi, okay, in those confessionals and everything else, all right? So Shereé, at this point, it was what it was, all right? So we move on. Shereé was asked about shading Drew, but about her being a part of Drop It with Drew or whatever like that. You want to sit up here and shade Drew for what she got going on, but she by Shereé still hasn't happened, right? So then she says that Drew isn't a representation of fitness. Oh wow, now girl, that was a tough one. Listen, I'm with you when you kind of right on that. You know what I'm saying? And Drew hit her with this. Well, I may not be the representation for fitness, but I'm the representation for health and wellness. And I said, oh, well, girl, you're right, because when you put health and wellness up there, it doesn't matter what the look is. For the most part, it's about the insides and the internal. Okay. And getting it healthy for the most part. You know what I'm saying? Because, there are some slim people around here that's not healthy. And you have bigger people that are way healthier than some of the slim people. Like, it is what it is. Okay, so Drew had to get her on that. And Drew says everyone has had work done, because I believe Shereé came for her having work. She's like, girl, everybody has had work done. You've even had your work done, your breast done, your face done, your booty done. And then, girl, that's what Shereé said. B.I.T. you crazy. I said, come on, Shereé. Now, girl, I'm with you when you right on that. Okay, I'm with you when you right on that. B.I.T. you crazy. I'm with her like, girl, I ain't never had my ass. I said, let's go, Shereé, because you speaking for the people with the naturals. Let's go, girl. I bet you crazy. Girl, okay, girl, I need to walk around with that. Bitch, you crazy. On my back, okay? Since they love looking at my ass. Girl, I need to put that on the back of my shirt. Bitch, you crazy. Okay? Bitch, you crazy. What's wrong with you, okay? Girl, anyway, so Shereé told her, like, girl, my booty real. Like, don't come for me. But Shereé ain't say nothing about them breasts, and she ain't say nothing about their face. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, because, girl, you look good. You know what I'm saying? But as far as the backside, bitch, you crazy. Now, Shereé, don't be over there trying to take my idea and then selling the damn shirt for $150. Okay? Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay? No, ma'am. So, anyway, why every time Drew talks, they kept playing the parrots? They kept putting the camera on the damn parrots when Drew talked, and it was kind of funny, but it's like, why y'all trying to make it seem like it's the birds chirping? Like you thought that was a reed, you thought you ate that type thing. And I'm like, girl, y'all so fucking messy. But anyway, so Shereé says greatness takes time when it comes to her clothing line and why it ain't out yet. And I said, good, stop. Not you talking about greatness take time. Well, it also took some time for you to iron them motherfucking shirts. Okay, you had more than enough time for your ass to iron them shirts than you didn't. So let's talk about it. Talk about some damn greatness takes time, but you ain't make the time to iron them damn shirts and the other clothes that you done sat up there and put on that site. Now took that stuff straight out the damn box and threw it on. Girl, you know you wrong for that. Gonna sit up there and talk about some damn time. Girl, let me go ahead and move on. Let me get to more. So anyway, Drew lets Shereé know that she didn't pay her, or she lets everybody know that, Shereé didn't pay her. And Shereé says that when the question came up about Shereé not paying people, Shereé says, well, it depends on what it is. She said, listen, I pay people when they need to be paid. And it's like, girl, are you serious? So you mean to tell me you acted on this show, and or at least you've been on Real Housewives, and if you were not in all 17 episodes and you were only in 5 and you were supposed to get paid, do you think that you shouldn't get paid? Because even though you were in 5 of those episodes, you didn't really give. Like, do you think that you shouldn't be paid? So why does that make logical sense for you not to pay anybody else? Just they don't deserve no money. Like, that just makes no sense. And it's sad. Like, it's a bad business, in my opinion. Why would anybody want to really attach themselves to you? The only thing would be because I'm working with Shereé of Real Housewives of Atlanta. Maybe she won't do to me what she's done to them. But it's kind of like, but why? Why even go that hectic route when you could work with so many other ladies that have been on the show that will pay you? Like, it's not a good look for you to be a businesswoman. And then on top of that, you took 14 years, girl, just to get something up off the ground. Yikes, mommy. Girl, it's not looking good. So anyway, Kandi is asked about using off-camera drama to bring on the show, or why does she bring up off-camera drama or whatever like that. And I'm like, why the fuck would you ask this question about Kandi, and why she would bring off-camera drama when y'all literally saw Marlo sit up here and bring up Kandi sucking ICK or whatever. She's been all over Atlanta, and Kandi did. Like, Marlo had a whole ventation about Kandi and things that happened off the show. So why would you sit up there and ask her about that? Like, that's stupid. But anyway, girl. So Kandi says because it's coming from what she knows. Like, these are things that I know to be facts. So I'm gonna bring them up. So Marlo brings up Todd approaching her about the show. It was very awkward because they weren't talking about that at the time. So I don't know if this was a splice cut edit thing from the production, or if Marlo just jumped in the conversation, because Shereé did say this is my segment, it's about me right now. But anyway, so Marlo brings up Todd approaching her about a show. Marlo trying to make it seem like Todd called her out the blue. And Katie says, no, that's wrong. Like, you and I had a conversation first. I went to my husband and told him maybe we could do something for you. And based on us trying to see what we can do for you, Miss Ma'am, that's when he decided to reach out to you, and we had a whole show and all that other stuff. And she kind of went in detail in it on one of the interviews. I can't remember if it was ours or someone else's, where she pretty much opened up and talked about, you know, that TV show that she had, because WeTV wasn't willing to do a show focused simply on Marlo. She needed an ensemble, and I do believe this was the show that Funky Dineva was supposed to be a part of or whatnot, and you know, Marlo pretty much fucked it off or whatever, and it didn't happen. But anyway, that's what Kandi was about to go into a spiel about, right? So Marlo says the contract did not make sense for her. And Marlo says Kandi brings this up every week. And I'm like, but except for she didn't. Except for she don't. Not you talking about Kandi bringing this up every week. Like, it's crazy to me how Marlo sits up there and lies so much. Every week we saw you bring up somebody lacking, like, oh, Kenya, your husband doesn't love you. Oh, Kenya, your booty's fake. Oh, Kenya, this. It's like the same stuff. Your husband doesn't love you. Oh, Kenya, your booty's fake. It's like the same repetitious stuff. And then you do the same thing with Kandi, but then you got the audacity to say that Kandi brings it up all the time about the contract. And it's like, that lady don't do that all the time, girl. Like, cut it out. Cut that shit out, okay? But anyway, honey, let's go ahead and keep going. So Kandi said she was trying to let her know that that oh, Kandi was trying to let her know, like, you keep saying that I don't help people when I actually do help people. So I have to let you know or remind you of that, okay? So Marlo says that she doesn't produce, but Kandi has, that's the thing. She says, why would I come to you to produce a show when you don't produce? But it's like, you dumb fuck. At the time, Todd was producing, so it makes logical sense for you to go to Kandi to talk to her husband, because he produces shows, dummy. And if you and Kandi have that type of friendship, it makes sense that you would go to her and just vent and be open. And Kandi, being the kind-hearted person she is, trying to see how can they help you with your bald headed. So then that's what Kandi does. So Kandi tries to help you because her husband produces shows like Hollywood Divas, R&B Divas. So they're trying to see what they can do and help you out. Why would I come to you and you don't produce shows? And then now Kandi over here producing shows and has had a few shows over here on Bravo. But I'm sure that was before Kandi's time in producing on TV, right? It was Todd that had the connects and was already making the moves in it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, girl, sit it the fuck down. Like, I hate it. I hate it, girl. Sit it the fuck down. But anyway, Marlo was being very ignorant to me. But anyway, so Shereé. Shereé speaks about being abstinent with Tyrone. She just says that she wasn't satisfied, right? She says he was using her to get on TV. And now she's over here talking about Martell Hope. So she was asked about Martell Hope. Now, she says that he's her boo, but she's not admitting that they're dating or that's her boyfriend or whatever it is. They just kicking it, okay? So then she says she wants people to know she got somebody. No, I said she wants people to know she got somebody, but she don't really want to share no details about it. So she was asked why she got with him knowing what he did to his wife, right? And it made me wonder, like, do you really know what he did to his wife? Do you know the details? I would want to believe that you do know the details, but at the same time, everything about Shereé being questioned about Martell for me was giving PR relationship that's probably going to run into 2023. Okay, just the thoughts from me. All right, so Shereé talks about how he's on TV as well, but you know, meeting him in person is much different. Yada yada yada. She admits that he's a totally different person, and I'm just like, girl, you ain't watched the show. You don't really know this man for real. Like, we see multiple sides of Martell. Of course, he's showing a different person. Okay, just because he giving you a different person doesn't mean that he can't show up as the person he was to his wife. Like, but if that's what you want to do, you're gonna do that anyway, because that's just how you is. So date on, my dear. Okay, so Sanya says that, and here goes Sanya interjecting, and I hate to hear it, and it's giving kiss up, suck up. You know what I'm saying? Like teacher's pet activity. Sonya says, Shereé, I love that you don't care about what anybody thinks. That's very admirable of you. Like, I love that. And I'm like, Sonya, shut the hell up, girl. Shut up, Sonya. I love that. That's great. I love that. You don't care what nobody else think. But when it comes to Drew and how Drew be feeling and not caring about how nobody else think, then it becomes a problem for you. Then you got a problem with Drew. Like, girl, anyway. So Drew and Sanya talk. So let's talk about that. Um, they don't really, it's their segment, they don't really have conversations outside of the show for real. Drew tells her that she was letting her meet people, though. She was like, in the beginning, I was letting you meet people or whatever like that. And then Sanya was like, girl, who you had me meet? She was like, well, Shamia was at my house, I let you meet her. You know what I'm saying? And then Sanya started doing the most. So what I love was what Drew said. Okay, so I mean, yeah, like, I did let you come to my house, you did meet Shamia or whatever like that. I mean, I don't even understand where all this extra energy is coming from. Like, we were just cool. Like, however Drew said that had me cackling. Good. And I think they put the camera on Shereé at that time, but Drew had me so tickled. So Sanya says she told her about the convo that she had with Kenya when they were walking outside, because Drew was coming from a place of feeling like she was being blindsided because Sanya confronted her in front of all of the ladies. But Sanya is saying that she actually talked to Drew in private before she confronted her in front of all of the ladies. Now, what I did see is that Sanya went upstairs trying to talk to Drew and was not able to talk to Drew, so she decided that she was going to share the details about Drew downstairs. It was something like that, I believe, that happened. I could be wrong. Maybe that could have been a Kenya said. No, I think that was Kenya. Was it Kenya? No, I'm mixing it up. But anyway, I thought that Sanya went upstairs and talked to Drew, but she didn't really give her all the details because she couldn't, because it was too many people in the room. So she had just came down, and when she came down, she decided to have the conversation in front of everybody. At the end of the day, it doesn't fucking matter when you had the conversation, Sanya. That's not the issue at hand that you're trying to make an issue. The issue for us, at least for me, is that you have no real issue with Drew. That's just what it is. You're feeling a way about Drew and how she treats other people, yet you ran behind Marlo and you saw how she treated Kandi and Kenya, but want to use the excuse of her going through a lot with her nephews. It's bogusness for me. So you still don't have an issue. That's why Andy wanted to move on, because y'all weren't getting nowhere, because you have a fake ass, flawed ass issue. Like, that's just what it is, okay? Period. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand. Okay. So, girl, let's move on. Anyway, so Sanya stood up there crying, and then I think Andy asked Drew how she feel about Sanya crying and Drew was like, I mean, she's not crying, but she has a tear, her eyes are watery. She has a tear. Okay, and then I think Kenya said that's crying. And then Kandi done fell out on the sofa, girl, and I'm just laughing because I'm like, in other words, Drew don't give a damn. Girl, cry to your mama, don't cry to me, because I don't give a fuck. Okay, hilarious. Then towards the end of the episode, what do we see? We see Marlo is asked about her mom, about her history in foster care, switching from home to home, and having to be told that she has to leave because one lady's daughter felt like she wasn't getting the attention that she needed and stuff like that. So she talked about that. And she also talked about how her grandmama wasn't a good mom, which resulted in her mama not being a good mom. And I'm just going to be honest, I tapped out. I saw not a single tear, come down Marlo's face. I just was not interested. It was giving sob story for me. It was giving, let me play this up and make Andy feel as sorry for me as possible so that I could secure another season on the show. Yeah, I was feeling unworthy. And now I'm sitting here with the former Miss USA, with a platinum whatever recording artist like Miss Kandi. I'm sitting over here with Drew, the actress. I think she even skipped over Shereé, which is comical. You know what I'm saying? A gold Olympic medalist. Like, oh my God, like, I'm sitting here like trying to make it seem like being amongst these ladies, she feels worthy. Girl, shut up. It was giving, let me cry to Andy so I can get another season so they can have sympathy, okay? And Miss Nikki want to talk about sympathy and payola. Well, girl, this is it. This is giving sympathy and motherfucking payola, girl. But that's all I got for reunion part 1. I'm Jamie, that's me. Go ahead and hop down in the comments. Let me know you all's overall thoughts. I'm Jamie, that's me. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share my videos, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye.